Royal Moment Live, Princess Leonor of Asturias weds Christian, historic ceremony in Copenhagen. It began like every royal wedding, expectations high, cameras flashing, and tradition ready to take the stage. But what unfolded in Copenhagen today wasn't just another royal ceremony. It was something raw, heartfelt, and deeply human. Because for the first time in modern European history, a future queen didn't just follow royal protocol, she followed her heart. And that changed everything. As dawn broke over Copenhagen, the city shimmered under a soft winter sun. Spanish flags waved beside Danish banners across palace balconies, a visual promise of unity between two nations. Crowds had gathered since early morning, lining the streets with hope, curiosity, and emotion. From Madrid to Copenhagen, everyone waited for that one moment, the sight of Princess Leonor stepping out as a royal bride. Inside Copenhagen Cathedral, history felt close enough to touch. The walls, centuries old, seemed to hum with anticipation. The organ swelled as the doors opened. And there she was. Princess Leonor of Asturias, Spain's future queen, stood radiant in an ivory gown designed in Madrid, hand-embroidered with symbols of Spain's royal heritage. The long veil, delicate yet powerful, symbolized both her lineage and her independence. Each step she took down that aisle was more than ceremonial, it was symbolic. The girl who had grown up under the world's watchful eye was walking toward her destiny, not as a princess bound by duty but as a woman guided by love. Waiting at the altar, Prince Christian of Denmark's eyes glistened. Gone was the shy teenage heir. Before the world stood a man ready to lead beside her. The two locked eyes, and everything, the ceremony, the whispers, the cameras, seemed to fade into silence. In that moment, it wasn't Spain or Denmark that mattered. It was them. As the vows began, there was no grandeur, no rehearsed display. Just pure, quiet sincerity. Leonor's voice trembled as she spoke. I promise to love you freely, to honor the past but build our own path forward. The audience felt it. The emotion in her tone was not rehearsed, it was real. Christian responded with equal warmth. I choose you, not because of our crowns, but because you make them lighter. The cathedral erupted in applause, something rarely seen in royal ceremonies. Even Queen Letizia couldn't hold back tears, her hand gently pressed to her heart. King Felipe smiled with quiet pride, knowing that this moment was more than a personal milestone, it was a generational shift. The kiss sealed it all. A kiss that echoed through Europe. Outside, the roar of the crowd was overwhelming. Bells rang across Copenhagen, Spanish songs blended with Danish cheers, and in that sound, something extraordinary happened. Two cultures, two histories, two royal destinies became one. But how did this moment come to be? To understand the depth of today, we must look back. Princess Leonor has grown up in the constant spotlight. From her early schooling in Madrid to her years at UWC Atlantic College in Wales, every step of her journey has been scrutinized. She was Spain's symbol of continuity, the face of the future monarchy. Yet behind the grace and poise, there was always a quiet independence, an inner voice that refused to be silenced. When she met Prince Christian at a European royal event years ago, few paid attention. Two heirs from neighboring monarchies, friendly, polite, but nothing more. Or so it seemed. Over time, what began as friendship deepened. Shared studies, shared values, and shared solitude of royal life drew them closer. But their growing bond wasn't always welcomed with open arms. Royal watchers speculated, could two heirs, each destined for their own throne, ever make such a union work? Would tradition bend for them? Many said no, but Leonor and Christian proved otherwise. They learned from the past. They watched how royal marriages built on duty often struggled under pressure. They wanted something different, something real, and through quiet determination, they convinced both their families and two nations that their union wasn't about merging power, it was about merging purpose. Today, that belief became reality. At the royal reception held in Amalienborg Palace, the atmosphere was radiant. Candlelight reflected off crystal chandeliers as dignitaries and royals from across Europe gathered. The King and Queen of Spain, Queen Margrethe, King Charles III, and members of every major royal house attended, each recognizing that this was more than a wedding. It was a signal of a modern monarchy evolving before our eyes. King Philippe's speech drew emotional applause. Today, he said, my daughter is not just the future of Spain, she is the future of a world where love leads first. His words resonated far beyond the palace walls. The couple's first dance captured the spirit of their union, a blend of Spanish passion and Danish elegance. The orchestra played a melody that began with the rhythm of a Spanish guitar, transitioning into soft Nordic strings. The harmony symbolized everything their marriage stood for: balance, respect, and unity through difference. Outside, Copenhagen sparkled. Fireworks painted the night sky in red, yellow, and white, the colors of both nations. Crowds chanted their names. Young children waved